I just wanted to know if there was any benefit to just having the oil, like from Young Living, or whether there was more benefit to having the full seed.
Okay, we certainly will cover that tonight. And it's sort of a bit like if you wanted to get the antibiotic effects of oregano and thyme, you would get a small benefit if you eat the leaf of the oregano and thyme. But to get the mind-boggling value out of the thymol and that's in the which is some of the constituents in oregano and thyme, it's the oil that gives you that because it's so much more of the product to get so much more of those antioxidants. And it's the thymoquinone is the actual issue that's so powerful within the black seed oil. So, having said that, let me start by saying this oil can you see it there? This is the reason why it belongs in your health toolkit. Was that obvious to see there? There it goes, that one. So tonight we're going to talk about black seed oil, more specifically why thymoquinone is the star of our show, which is in this little guy. So we'll touch on a couple of the big topics like inflammation, immune support, blood pressure, blood sugar levels, metabolic health, which is an overall. Yes, we're even going to tell you what happened globally in 2019. It's going to be included. So there's far more to this oil than I'll have time to cover tonight, but I've got to mention a couple of other things which I won't be able to cover because of the time restrictions. But there's Candida, there's vitiligo, blood sugar regulation. This covers weight management, skin conditions, wound healing, eczema, acne, kidney stones, gram-positive bacteria, Hep C, C. difficile or C. diff or Clostridium difficile, which a lot of people with issues in the colon are going to know what C. diff is, and they don't want it. No one else wants to actually have one of them because they're terrible. So why? What makes black seed oil different? It comes from from the Nigella sativa family. It contains over 100 bioactive compounds, but the most powerful one in this little show is thymoquinone. I don't know how many people have heard of that, but that is the antioxidant that's in this. So this is where things get interesting. Black seed oil is technically an omega-6. And this is where people go, ooh, that's why I went, ooh, I did that because I didn't want to go down this road in fear of what I'm going to find. So I just left it for a long time. We all know omega-6 oils usually aren't our friend, but chemistry doesn't work on a one-size-fits-all rule, as you're probably thinking now. Certainly wasn't in 2019, one size fits all. So this oil is protected. Thymoquinone acts as a built-in antioxidant. It's protecting the oil from oxidation and rancidity, similar to how clove oil protects our Young Living's green omegas, which is this one. If you're not taking these, you need to be. The green omegas have something very important in them, clove oil. Okay. Here's the anomaly I just couldn't ignore. I haven't found any other omega-6 oils in the world, in the family of omega-6 oils that are protected this way. Thymoquinone. Remember, that's the star of the show. So antioxidant power, what's that? Do you remember the ORIC scale? Now, that stands for ORAC, ORAC's oxygen radical absorbent capacity. What that is they basically have an oven. They put anything into the oven. They flash it with intense heat, and what's left is ash. The amount of ash determines how high that antioxidant is. If thereabouts none, that's a very high antioxidant. If there's a lot, well, so now that's the ORIC scale. The ORIC scale is that oxygen radical absorbing capacity. So that's how they get it. So you may have heard of that ORIC score. It's a way of measuring the antioxidant capacity of the subject that you're putting into that oven. So clove oil is the highest. It's 1,078,000. That's why it's in the green omegas. It's always been in Young Living's omegas. No other company in the world puts a high antioxidant with the omega-3s. They've got to have something to stop them going rancid, which is why omega-6s go rancid because they don't have any antioxidant. Ningxia Red, this stuff, cheers, is 30,000 on that ORIC scale. Now, oils tend to be completely off the scale with antioxidants. They're like in another field all on their own. They're super high. But Ningxia Red's 30,000, which is also super high when it comes to vegetation and fruits. It's the highest. What do you think the black seed oil is? Now, this was what took my breath away. It's 60,000. It's about double that of Ningxia Red. And we all know how powerful Ningxia Red is as an antioxidant and how it works in the superoxide dismutase pathway, which is that antioxidant alongside glutathione at the cell site, which is stimulated with sulfur, which is sulfozyme and MSM and that sort of stuff. So that antioxidant power comes largely in the black seed oil from thymoquinone, and it explains both the stability of the oil and the biological effects on the body. That's the reason why it is so stable. I didn't know any of this stuff. I'm so glad I went down this road after all these years of pushing it under the carpet. What about if we look at blood pressure and cholesterol and blood sugar? So there was a clinical trial of 55 people with high blood pressure. They were given 2.5 mils twice daily for 8 weeks. Results? They reduced their diastolic blood pressure. They reduced total cholesterol. They reduced the LDL, they call that the bad, which it's not, and reduced fasting blood sugar in type 2 diabetics. So remember 2.5 mils twice a day, that's 5 mils a day. Just this, which just so happens to be the dosage on our bottle. Interesting. What is 5 mils? Well, 5 mils is roughly that 3 times. That 3 times fits on a teaspoon. That's about 5 mils. So now imagine combining this with something like spearmint oil for diabetes, for diabetics. You put the spearmint oil with this. Remember all the information that I presented about spearmint oil? That was a mind twist too. Combining it with that, 5 mils a day. So this oil has been around for over 3,000 years. It's got a 3,000-year history. It's not new. It's been used in ancient Greece, Egypt, Islamic medicine. So it doesn't make it magic, but it does make it worth the respect that I'm now giving it. What about our immune system? Simple explanation. Black seed oil shows anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral protective effects, all the antis. So our immune system relies heavily on what they call CD4 cells. They are the orchestrators. The CD4, they're like the killer cells, the white cells in the blood. So the explanation of that is think of it like a warfare or modern warfare. A laser paints the target, then the strike hits precisely. Get it? In warfare. Laser, there it is. Target, bang, gets it. T cells, they tag the B cells that can produce the right antibodies. Okay, so thymoquinone supports this orchestration, especially in the mucosal and the immune cell level. Does that make sense? What about in 2019, there was a meta-analysis. Now, a meta-analysis just means they've got a wide spectrum of people doing these analyses. They bring them together to get the facts. So in 2024, a meta-analysis combined 3 clinical trials involving, there was over 1,000 hospitalized COVID patients. Significant. They were given black seed oil orally. So there was a 78% reduction in mortality risk. That's not a small number when you consider it's 1,000 people. That's not a small number, but it is a signal for our respect of this guy. We haven't finished. I told you I was going to be pulling the guns out. What about fungal overgrowth and candida? There was another study done in Biomed Research International from King Fahd University. They looked at candida, including candida glabrata, which is notoriously difficult to treat. They found that thymoquinone damaged the fungal cell membrane, induced oxidative stress. It disrupted the mitochondrial function because these bacteria and these funguses have mitochondria just like we do. So this applied to the Candida aspergillus and the Candida penicillium, not penicillin, penicillium. It applied to both of them as well. So now an important note that I must tell you, this was in vivo. So that means it's a test tube study, but don't degrade that because it's in a test tube. Remember, they do a lot of studies on rats. They say it has significant effect on doing these rat studies on rats. Whenever you see that in a study, don't degrade it because those rats have the same organelles as us. They've got very, very similar to us. So if they say it has a significant effect on them, but then when they talk about humans, they say the studies aren't complete, disregard it, because what they're doing with the rats is actually what's happening to us, but they just aren't saying it. What about parasites? Now, this is fascinating. Thymoquinone also shows antiparasitic activity. It increases the oxidative and inflammatory stress inside the parasite. Now, that damages their DNA and prevents their replication. That's going to cause parasitic death or parasitic cell death. So it becomes very relevant when we talk about tick-borne illnesses, including Babesia, which is a parasite, Borrelia. Now that's where you get your tick disease. What's it called? Yeah, lost that name. Anyway,
Lyme.
thank you. Lyme's disease. There's too much floating around in my head. Yeah, that's where Lyme comes from. So what that looks like is fever, chills, sweats, fatigue, joint pain, headaches, anemia, you name it. Very difficult though to diagnose. But in 2012, studies again in King Faisal University in Malaysia, they showed benefits in malaria. Interesting, I thought. What about biofilms and antibiotic resistance? Right? Biofilms, what are they? They're the protective communities that bacteria hide in to, to make you, to trick you to think that they're gone. Now, antibiotics kill, they often kill the free floating bacteria, but not the biofilm. Right? Have you heard of that before? Which is why symptoms disappear, but they seem to come back weeks later. So in when was it? 2016, 20 people with H. pylori, Helicobacter pylori, were given black seed oil. So the results in just 2 weeks, 57% eradication, reduced indigestion, heartburn, and dyspepsia. So even more interesting, black seed oil improved the success rate of standard antibiotic therapy. Really? All this stuff is, you can find all this information. It's all out there in these studies. Funny how mainstream doesn't really ever talk about it. So I'm not suggesting anything. All I'm doing is just sharing what the findings showed. And it's open for anybody to research this stuff. It's quite easy findable, quite easy to be found. What about thyroid and autoimmunity? How's my time going? How's it go? What time is it? Oh, there it is. 10. I'm good. I'm good. Now, there's another one. In 2016, a randomized controlled trial of Hashimoto's patients showed that the black seed oil reduced TSH, which is your thyroid stimulating hormone, increased T3, and it reduced one that they call TPO, which is thyroid peroxidase, which is it reduced the antibodies by 147 points. Now, I checked that out, and they say that 147 points is extremely a lot to reduce it by that many points. To try and get the lower and the high, there wasn't, but that was quite significant to reduce it by 147 points. Now, there was also a slight reduction in body weight. Vitamin D is also a powerful adjunct here. I've seen quite a few other studies that they suggest that black seed oil had a lot to do with weight loss, but I haven't recorded those on my notes, but I did see them. So painful inflammation and the endocannabinoid system. Oh, this will prick your ears up. Where's that come from? What's the endocannabinoids? Black seed oil contains what they call beta caryophyllene. Did you know that? It's 5 to 20% in black seed oil. Now, that's the same compound that's found in our copaiba, which is 50 to 85% beta caryophyllene, and the endocannabinoid system, cannabis. It's from 12 to 25% of beta caryophyllene. Did you get those figures? 5 to 20% is your black seed. Cannabis 12 to 25, and a copaiba is 50 to 85. That's the anti-inflammatory compound within copaiba, cannabis, and black seed oil. So I never knew that. I never, ever in 1,000 years would have thought beta caryophyllene was in black seed oil. It binds to CB2 receptors of the endocannabinoid system, which explains why some people experience reduced pain, reduced joint pain and spine and nerve discomfort. Now, what about longevity pathways? Thymoquinone. This one took my breath away. It activates the NRF2, nuclear factor 2, which Remember my talks I've done on lemongrass? How you've got the redox signaling, NRF2 redox signaling all the way down to the cytosol where it produces your glutathione. Sorry about the big words. But this oil activates that same pathway. It increases glutathione. It improves insulin sensitivity and fat burning. There's that weight loss thing that I mentioned before. AMP, it increases AMPK, and I forgot what AMPK stood for, but it is part of in the pancreas where it improves insulin sensitivity. It also crosses the blood-brain barrier. Now, I wouldn't have thought that was possible being an oil, but the thymoquinone does pass the blood-brain barrier. It reduces neuron inflammation in the brain. Now, here's another one. Remember the word autophagy? It also supports autophagy. Now, autophagy only starts after about 17 hours of fasting, and it maximizes up to about 3 days, and it gets stronger and stronger right up to about 10 days, which is a recycling of our organelles within each cell. So if they're not working sufficiently, autophagy either kicks them out or recycles them. So that happens. Autophagy gets stimulated through stress, extreme stress, as in get your legs cut off. Autophagy will start to work with the cells to make your immune system stronger. I don't wish that upon anybody, but I use that as an example. Extreme stress stimulates autophagy. I prefer the black seed oil to stimulate autophagy, thanks. Although a 3-day fast is very valuable too. What about this one? Has anyone heard of FOXO3? I also found out it stimulates FOXO3. That's the longevity gene. Like, can you see how I've down this rabbit hole? I have found so many gems. Hard to believe. That's why got 4 bottles of this. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to stop taking it. Now we've only talked about two compounds out of over 100 that's in this. We've only covered two. Okay. Final thought. If this hasn't given you a strong indication of why you'd want this bottle in your health and longevity toolkit, nothing will. Got it? Young Living products do run out, remember? So if if you order extra, keep it in the fridge. So that's not hype. That's what you would call preparedness. So I've opened up my machine gun tonight with all that information. So open up your microphones if you want to say something.
Hi, Alan. I've put a comment
Oh,
in the
oh,
chat box,
oh
but
yeah,
I
okay.
can ask anyway.
I haven't
So
even looked.
with the glutathione benefits, you know how you do the 3 oils, which I do as well, but not quite as many as you, but I'm getting there.
Yeah.
It's still worth doing both then, or is just the black seed oil enough, or
In
for
our
the
day and age, okay, let me put it another way. If I stop putting a chemical shampoo on my hair, is that enough? Do I now stop washing my hands in chemicals? Do I stop sniffing poisons in the atmosphere? Do I stop now do I keep having my fluoride and chlorine? Do I keep blah, blah, blah? You get what I'm saying? It's in that, I believe it's in that similar category that if you're going to have it, I mean, put it this way, there's no negative side effect
yeah.
to it. So I do both. I'll always do both, and I'll keep doing both, and I especially do both after this research I've learnt. Um, from doing this research. Like I said, I was a bit chicken to go down this road because I didn't know what I was going to find. I thought I had no clue it was going to be this information.
Also, on the Facebook page in the link to this video, could you please write that Fox
Fox 03?
no, no, not the Fox 03, that
Thymoquinone.
yeah, that's the
Oh,
one. Could you
thymoquinone.
write that in there so that I know how to spell it and all that?
Oh, okay, okay. Hang on.
On Facebook though, not in here because it
Oh, okay, okay. I'll do that. I'll remember to do that. Thymoquinone. Yeah, it's a word that not many people would actually use and let alone pronounce, but I've become quite au fait with it because I've been using it so much lately.
yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Now, when someone the best best life so placing it on the skin can also help with inflammation. Yes, it can. And that also spun me out. Like this oil has quite big molecules to be absorbed through the skin, and often oils don't absorb that well through the skin. But again, the beta caryophyllene is micronized. So is the thymoquinone. So those aren't an omega-6 oil. They are the very, very tiny. It's actually they're monoterpenes, sesquiterpenes, phenols. They are actually in here as well, like it's in an essential oil. It's very similar to oregano and thyme, believe it or not, is in here. That's the antibiotic. Like, I go figure. Why haven't I known this before years ago? I don't know. Now, what's the benefit of it crossing the blood-brain barrier? Well, every chemical that you have that's effervescent or small enough, like alcohol, can go through the blood-brain barrier. Propylene glycol can go through the blood-brain barrier. Any of those chemicals you see in shampoos, conditioners, toothpaste, deodorants, those chemicals that are manufacturing labs, they all pass through into the blood-brain barrier. You don't want them, you don't want those chemicals in there. The whole point of the barrier is to keep poisons out. But because they're so tiny, they will go through. Same as an essential oil. Frankincense goes straight through. All of our essential oils go straight through. And those compounds in here go straight through. I can't imagine the omega-6 goes through straight away. It would take months, maybe years of build-up for omega-6s and omega-3s and omega-9s to get in the brain. That's why when people have anxiety, it takes so long for the anxiety from omega-3s to kick in. It can take, 18 months because it's got to get in through that filter.
I have two questions, please, Alan.
Yeah.
If I've got a bottle of black seed oil that's been in the cupboard, not in the fridge for some months, would you throw it out or still use it?
I would taste it, put it down your throat, and see if it rasps the back of your throat. If it does, that's a good sign. Okay. But take it, put it in the fridge, keep them in the fridge.
Okay.
There's still, I mean, that's an antioxidant. I know the thymoquinone is a strong antioxidant, but I would still, I don't have any absolute positive proof of this. But I put every supplement, I put everything that I've got in the fridge, and a lot of my supplements are in the freezer as well. So, and I do that because I don't want to run out, because we know Young Living does have a habit of running out of stuff.
Okay. Second question. I know somebody who has bad psoriasis on their abdomen. Would this help at all?
I'd put it on topically and include copaiba and possibly a bit of peppermint.
Okay.
And you could also add what's it called? The other, now I've lost that name. The other oil, ah, castor oil.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So you'd put you'd soak your cotton in, put a bit of castor oil, and then put that on it with the copaiba and peppermint
Okay.
with the black seed.
Yeah, black seed oil. Okay. Excellent. Thank you very much for this talk. I've appreciated this.
It's been a lot of stuff, eh? It's a lot. It's a lot of information.
Shame we can't buy it in a 20-litre drum.
Oh, I reckon. But then you only need 5 mils. All the research was done on
True.
5 mils a day,
Right.
or 2.5 mils twice a day, which is a teaspoon. So that's pretty economical.
It is. Yes.
I stocked up on black seed oil. Good on you, Joanne. And Chris, was that a hint that they are low in stock of black seed? No, because I contacted Daniel, and he said they just got a new shipment of it. So at the moment there is enough in stock, but I would still stock up regardless, because you never know if this information gets out too wide. There's going to be a lot of people buying, and that'll probably boost the amount of that they have left in stock. Yeah, good for skin, especially rosacea. Yes, definitely amazing for the skin. Again, I wouldn't have thought it was that beneficial on the skin, but so much research says it's good to put on the skin and removing some of these blemishes and acne. Like, really? I'd do, for kids with acne, I'll be taken internally, and I'd put it on the skin as well. And it tastes, how does it taste? Straight under your, oh, it tastes, I love it. I could drink the whole bottle. And I had I probably had 10 mils of this today because I love the taste. So I've got no problem with the taste, Alina. No problem whatsoever. Sunshine for psoriasis. Yes, that helps. Now I don't get it. Well, look at me. I'm out in the sun all day, every day. Yes, no psoriasis on me. My sister has been taking black seed oil for Hashimoto's. Definitely helped her. Yes, so much research on Hashimoto's. Absolutely. Stock up and rotate, Linda's saying. Prayers, has spearmint been restocked? Oh, are they out?
I'm not sure, but didn't you nearly sell it out with your talk?
Yeah, yes, yes, but he ordered some more,
Okay, good.
and then people were buying them by the half dozen. But no, I don't think I haven't heard that they ran out, but it did give a super hit to their stock, that's for sure.
No, it hasn't run out, Alan. They've got plenty.
Oh, good. Thanks, Linda. That's my ground crew there. Alan, can you not? Oh, that was it. Okay, I've answered all the questions. Any other questions? I'll stop the recording. So thank you very much for joining us tonight.